Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 71 of the Play to Win podcast. My name is Keiran, and I'm of course joined by my awesome, fantastic co-host Tyler. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. It's been it's actually been a bit of an easy week at work, which I'm never mad at. I'm never mad at easy weeks because this week I've actually been able to catch up on so much more like backed up work that I expected to and that I have in the past. So I was able to send out so many other things, close out a number of other things that have just been piling up, which is very great. Cleaned off my desk some too. I was just like, oh my gosh, like things are looking like things are looking put together over here a bit more than they have been recently in recent months. So that's good. At the same time, it's also a bit annoying when it's like easy because then it's like, all right, like what do I have to do? What do I want to do right now? I end
Yeah.
up like kind of just like, all right, let me just like kill time kind of sort of by doing nothing. But it's not a bad thing. I'm not mad at it at all. Monday will probably be an easy day. Maybe Tuesday, but I think Monday may be the last easy day of sorts for me. And then it'll be grind time for like the next 3 weeks or so before it gets easy again. So I mean, I'm embracing the laid back. I embraced the laid back week I had. It's been a good week overall at work. Outside of that, it's been good too. It's been good too. Just overall a chill-ish week. Just a chillish week, really. Played
Nice.
some stuff, watched some stuff. Like I watched Prey, enjoyed that quite a bit actually. That was a great movie overall. Like, wow, surprised by how much I enjoyed it. And just really just like a thumbs up for the week from me.
Nice.
I gotta say.
I have had the opposite week to you. I have literally barely had time to sit down because we are like now in full reno mode for my grandfather's old house because the builders start tomorrow as of recording. So I have done nothing other than reno stuff this week from like 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day.
I would have been like, like I could do 8 I could do a normal work day. So we do 9 to 5, I could do 8 to 4. I'm sorry. I'm out. I need my time. Not about to be here working all hours of the day, like more than a 12-hour day. Like, no. No. I get that like it's grind time, but I am not a construction worker. I'm none of those things. This is not like I'm 8 to 4 and then I'll see you all tomorrow at 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. again. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I wish I had the luxury to be like, all right, I'll see you later. But like I said, because things are now in like full reno mode, it's just all hands on deck.
I'm sorry. I would have had to. I personally would have put my foot down, and be like, no, I can't do this, can't do it.
But this is the Play to Win podcast, a show where we break down the week's biggest gaming news to in-depth discussion. If you're on YouTube, take the notification bell and subscribe down below so you know when new videos, podcast episodes, all that kind of stuff goes live. And subscribe on podcast services. All helps us out very much. We very much appreciate it as well. The topics for this episode that we're going to be talking about is there have been some more words exchanged between Xbox and PlayStation regarding the Activision Blizzard acquisition that they are going through just now. Hogwarts Legacy, as well as a few other games, are no longer releasing in 2022. And I finally get to ask Tyler some gaming trivia questions.
Yeah, I'm curious about this. More so because of what you said last week. You were like, "Oh, I get to get my revenge." I'm just like, is this driven out of revenge or just to have fun? Because I'm curious now. Like, if you're doing this out of revenge, and like, what type of questions you about to pull out? Like, what was the third game released on the Atari and television, or the Atari, whatever, on the first Atari game console? Back when that came out. Like, I don't know. What type of question is this?
No, I'm not that mean. Okay, it's for
you're
fun.
Not that spiteful.
No,
or petty.
No, I'm not that spiteful or petty. It's for fun. We'll get to that in a little bit. Okay. But we're going to start off by talking about Xbox and PlayStation, Activision Blizzard, the whole situation going on there. That we talked about this last week. Sony apparently not too happy with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, which
understandable.
Yep, which was to be expected. But this week, Xbox has actually retaliated. That might be a little bit too strong of a word, but they have put some comments of their own in the ring regarding some of Sony's comments from last week. So this information I got from a VGC Video Game Chronicle article by Chris Scullion. That's how we pronounce his name. So Xbox has apparently submitted all necessary documents to the FTC and is now fighting back against comments made by Sony. I'll give you a little recap of some of Sony's previous comments. So last week we had said this quote, but quote, Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its network of loyal users is so entrenched that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. It is synonymous with first-person shooter games and essentially defines the category. End quote. Some of Sony's comment last week. Now, Xbox is fighting back in a recent 27-page document given to the Brazilian regulatory body CADE, or CADE, talking about the acquisition. CADE is also the body that PlayStation made these comments to in the first place.
And I should also, I don't know if we said this before, but like PlayStation didn't just willingly speak out against this. Like,
no,
they were asked these questions by the Brazilian regulatory body amongst a number of other third-party publishers. So it's not like Sony came out with just like down with the acquisition. It was like they were asked about it, as were like Apple and Google and so other people as well. And Sony gave their opinion on it. And now Microsoft is giving their opinion on Sony's opinion to the questions. So I just want to put that out there, that because I know that was, I don't know if that was really much of a thing, but like just to kind of shut down that perception of Sony just like speaking out against it. Like they didn't like just voluntarily just like out of nowhere put out like a blog post saying their opinions on, like they were asked and they gave their opinion.
All of the quotes and everything are taken from documents that were submitted to CADE. Sony didn't just go out on Twitter and be like, screw you, Microsoft, down with the acquisition.
No, that didn't happen.
No. So I have some quotes from the Microsoft hours that were spoken this week in the 27-page document. So, quote, only one third party, Sony, presented materially different opinions than the applicants and the other third parties consulted by the SG. Sony is isolated in this understanding and curiously even contradicts itself in its response to the letter, as will be detailed below. Microsoft goes on to state that Sony doesn't want to see Call of Duty games on Game Pass on day one because it, quote, is resentful of having to compete with Microsoft's subscription service. Sony's public statements on subscription games and its response to the SG's letter are clear. Sony does not want attractive subscription services to threaten its dominance in the digital distribution market for console games. I'm going to pause here for a second. Do you think that this is one of the reasons why Sony is speaking out, because they don't want their digital dominance challenged?
Well, I mean, like, like I think it'd be hard to deny. Like when you're at the top, you don't want that to be, threatened or anything like that. So like that comes with the territory. Like I'm sure if the roles were reversed, it would be a similar story. Like that's not necessarily a surprise or anything like that. So yeah, I do think that they are afraid of what Game Pass can do. I mean, we've stated this before. Like Game Pass is a beast, and Game Pass, if Game Pass gets Call of Duty specifically, that will be a major boon for Xbox and Game Pass. That'll be a major loss of sorts for PlayStation. Like even if you can still play Call of Duty on PlayStation, like it becomes a thing of paying full price on PlayStation, or do you just get a Game Pass subscription and play it on Game Pass? Whether that means you just do it through cloud or you get a console and do it. Like it becomes a different question entirely, and it would be more appealing, I'm sure, to a lot of people to just get the Game Pass subscription if they can. Unless I'm sure if you have a PlayStation already, then then you'll probably keep playing it on a PlayStation. But if you don't have either one, then maybe you just go get an Xbox instead and get a Game Pass subscription. Or if you have both, but you're like, what, I could just get it on Game Pass and not have to pay it on PlayStation, then you do that. Like it it is enough to move the needle in that way,
Yeah.
specifically for Game Pass and Xbox's you know, Xbox's growth, their plans to grow with Game Pass and grow their Xbox ecosystem at all. And it is enough to, threaten the hold that Sony has. And that's been known for a year. That's been known for a while, specifically since Game Pass really came into its own in 2020, I believe 2021. I don't know if it was 2020 or 2021 where it really came into its own.
Yeah.
But specifically since the pandemic happened, Game Pass has really started to thrive in a whole lot of ways. And as we stated before, since that's happened, it's been real clear that Game Pass is a real threat. It's something to consider, that Sony needs to be aware of. And that's why we always have these questions of, well, what's Sony's answer to Game Pass going to be? What are they going to do? Because we've known that Game Pass is going to be this force, and Sony has answered in some way. They are answering it in some way now with the new PlayStation Plus. But Call of Duty or Game Pass, it is a whole lot. It can threaten Sony and their dominance.
Yeah, no, like I 100% agree. I'll jump down a little bit here because this kind of ties into what you were saying. This document also argues against Sony's comments that adding Call of Duty to Xbox Game Pass would result in, quote, an unattainable lead in subscription services for Microsoft, by Microsoft saying, quote, it's not part of Microsoft's strategy to remove content from players, and Call of Duty will still be on PlayStation as a paid title, unquote. So, like, yeah, if they were to add Call of Duty Game Pass, in my head, that only really affects, well, doesn't really only, but I would look at it more as only affecting the people who have both consoles. Because just
who
because
either have both or don't have either and are looking to get a new one.
Yes, sorry, yeah, that's a good amendment to make. Yeah, so people who have both or don't have either and are looking to buy one or the other. Because if you only have a PlayStation, right? Call of Duty is what, $70 a year?
Yeah.
You're not going to go out and spend $500 to get a Series X, or $350 for a Series S.
300.
Okay. You're not going to go out and spend that to get a Series X or a Series S and then pay $15 a month to play Call of Duty when you could just spend $70 up front to play on a console you already have. So, like, it's not necessarily going to take any existing PlayStation members, fans, whatever you want to call them, consumers. Yeah. But it's not going to take any existing PlayStation consumers away from PlayStation over to Xbox unless they were already thinking about that change.
I will say, though, there is also the fact that, this is why I mentioned this before as well, there's the cloud streaming, where you don't necessarily need to have a console. You can do the cloud streaming. And right now, cloud streaming is mobile, and I believe on PC, you can do the cloud streaming. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, I mean, they are going to be adding the cloud streaming to TVs. I mean, they already are starting to do it with new 2022 Samsung TVs, and then they already have the like the Amazon Fire Stick type device that they have in the works for cloud streaming. So that's also an easy avenue for anyone who has a PlayStation. If you have a PlayStation but you don't want to buy a whole new box, you either just download the app on your TV or get the little stick and plug it into your TV for, let's say the stick is like $50 or whatnot. You buy a stick for $50 and you get an Xbox controller, or you may not even need an Xbox controller. You might be able to just do it with your PlayStation controller. Because can't you do that with xCloud now? Like, isn't it possible to do the streaming with your PlayStation controller? I believe so. I think that was a point that they made.
I actually don't know. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to, because you would just be pairing it through Bluetooth. I don't think there would be any restriction as to, like, oh, you can't use a PlayStation controller to play xCloud, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
I'm fairly positive you can. But regardless, even still, say you have to buy a controller and the stick is $50, that comes out to $110 without tax taken into account as well.
Yeah.
Which is much cheaper than the $300 or the $500 for the full-on console. So like, even that can be really appealing to people who have a PlayStation but don't have an Xbox. And you're like, you know what? I want to get my Call of Duty fix and I don't want to have to pay the $70. They just do that and they're good to go. Now, granted, of course, that's all like a matter of how good your internet is and able to do cloud streaming and stuff. Like, that's a major factor in it. Also, like data caps and all like that. Like, that's the big hindrance against someone with a PlayStation just going the cloud streaming route. I imagine someone with a PlayStation would much rather just do it on their console, but we can't ignore the cloud streaming angle
No.
of it. Specifically when it comes to being able to stream on TVs, which is where I imagine most people would want to do their streaming for Call of Duty. So there are levels to it.
Yeah, no, like there are plenty of layers to go through with this that like you could honestly talk about this for I think an entire podcast to get down like the nitty-gritty of it. But I mean, I am not of the mindset that this is going to dramatically change or
dramatically. What is that word? Dramatically.
I think I tried to cross drastically and dramatically.
I think so. That dramatically. That is a new word.
Yep.
Keiran trademark word.
Yeah. Yeah. $20 every time you want to use it.
You put it in like the little symbol will be a circle with like you have like the circle with the R, the circle with the C, like next to certain things like copyright, like rights reserved. It'll be a circle with a K.
Circle with a K. Keiran's. So yeah, like I don't think this is going to drastically affect the existing PlayStation community. But if you are going to still be able to, like Microsoft say here, the Call of Duty will still be on PlayStation as a paid title. It's mainly, I think, Sony might be worried about people who both of us have said already, either don't own a console yet and are looking to decide which one, or people who have both and will just, get the game wherever it makes the most sense to get it. Or like you say, the people who would be going through like the xCloud route.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to put this up is because this kind of fourth comment here is the one that I found the most interesting when I was reading through all this earlier in the week. Yeah. Microsoft has also claimed that attempts to grow Game Pass have been, quote, hampered by Sony's desire to inhibit such growth, end quote, and even goes so far as to say Sony, quote, pays for blocking rights to prevent developers from adding content to Game Pass and other competing subscription services, end quote. I read this and I was like, just come out and say it, why don't you, Microsoft? But at the same time, I very strongly believe this is something that Sony absolutely does.
I mean, this isn't new information. It's not.
No.
There was after there was a Resident Evil 8 contract that leaked in some way, shape, or form, and in that document, it had the parity. I don't know if it was that, but in that thing, it had that the game couldn't be on Game Pass or other like competing subscription services and stuff like that. So like, this isn't new information. I think the detail that's missing here is whether or not this is for all games or only games they have the marketing rights to, because they had the marketing rights for Resident Evil Village. So like that's, like it made sense for it to be in that contract at all like that. So it's I read this, I was just like, yeah, like we kind of knew about this before, but like even if we didn't know about this, it's one of those things where it's something I would have expected anyway, not even just from Sony, but from Microsoft too, like on their end. Like I would expect either of these big first party publishers to like have like a clause of some sort in their contract if they're doing marketing for the game that says while we're marketing your game, you can't put it on other subscription services or whatnot, because we want your game to be solely associated with our platform and so on and so forth. Like, it doesn't surprise me that much, and I wish I had it pulled up like directly in front of me. Jeff Grubb, he had retweeted this and he had said that like this is what exclusivity is these days, like competing to have it's no longer about just like, well, hold on. Let me find the actual quote because I don't want to paraphrase it and like
I'm looking just now.
Speak on it. I also don't even remember if I had I don't want to type in HE. I don't care about HE, whatever HE is. I don't remember if I have bookmarked it or liked it, which is why I have to go to his page to scroll on through, but I don't have to go too far because it wasn't that long ago when this was here we go. All right, so he had quote tweeted Charlie Intel's tweet about this. Charlie Intel, for those who don't know, they're a Call of Duty fan page. Verified, they get like early access, they like to the games and demos and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So he had quote tweeted their tweet about this part here where Microsoft, is claiming the Sony does the blocking rights and everything. So he said here, quote, "This is what exclusivity is. Companies almost never pay to make a game truly exclusive. They instead pay to keep a game off of one console. Or Epic pays to keep a game off of Steam, but you can get it everywhere else." And then looking at the replies, Tom Warren from The Verge responded to that, and he said, "Surely exclusivity would be Sony paying to have a game on PS Plus and it not being on Game Pass, putting clauses in contracts for multi-platform games to prevent Game Pass in exchange for marketing money doesn't feel like the traditional concept of exclusivity to me." So then Jeff Grubb responded to that again and said, "I was rushing, but that was my point. None of this is the traditional idea of exclusivity. We haven't had traditional exclusives for generations now. These are companies just trading specific favors for cash in an attempt to position themselves as best as possible." And then he said also, and we've known about this stuff since the REA contract, right? Seems like if you're paying for a marketing deal, you wouldn't want a game going on a service that could be used as marketing against you. And like, that's why I'm not surprised by this, because it just, like you said, like if you're doing marketing for a game, why would you also want your competitor to market and say, or you could get a better deal over here? Like that doesn't make sense at all to say that. But yeah, like just thinking about also what he said in regards to this being like what exclusivity is now these days, and like how it's not what we traditionally think of in terms of console exclusivity and all. I imagine like this is getting into a new sort of exclusivity for the new generation. Well, not for new generation, but for the new gaming landscape, where before there weren't subscription services and all like that. And now we have subscription services, which brings into a new level of exclusivity. It's not just about, oh, it's only on my console. It's okay. Now it's only on my subscription service, which you can get only in my ecosystem.
Yeah. Yeah. And like as coming from a place as somebody who Xbox is my preferred platform, I saw this and I'm like, oh, screw you, Sony, like blocking stuff. But Microsoft does this as well, right? Like it wasn't a place of like, Microsoft is god tier and Sony's crap. But like to me, it just like I've always been somebody who just doesn't really believe in the concept of an exclusive. Like a game should be able to be played wherever they want, whenever they want, by whoever, if you want to enjoy that game, right? I'm rambling a little bit, but I mean, it also from a business standpoint makes sense that you would want to be like, hey, maybe don't put this on Game Pass if we're paying you money to, have the marketing for it.
Yeah.
So that all makes sense. But my question for this is like, do we like, maybe this is worded slightly wrong as to how I wanted it in my head, but do we agree with Microsoft's comment here? And does this make us feel any different about the situation?
I mean, I don't know if agree is the right word. I'm trying to think about it.
That's what I was thinking.
Here's how I'll answer this. I'll answer this by saying this. This does not make me feel any different about the situation. And I'm amazed that I was amazed this week this was even a talking point or even discourse, because as again, it's kind of known information already. Yeah. So I was just like, we still doing this song and dance? Like, are we still doing the song and dance of, is it gonna be a huge thing? Like we talked about it last week, and I was like, okay, and it comes up again this week, and like even talking about it last week, it was I had it in the doc because I was like, noteworthy news story, sure, like kind of beating a dead horse, but noteworthy news story. And it's gonna be here again this week. I knew, because noteworthy news story, beating a dead horse though. And I'm of the mindset of we've done this song and dance so many times. We all know that Microsoft having Call of Duty will be a huge boon for their platform and for Game Pass, and it will be a huge loss for Sony. We all know this. We all know Call of Duty is super important, and that it being owned by Microsoft will be a major shift, not just for PlayStation, but for the games industry. This Microsoft's comments here does not change my opinion on it at all, one way or another. Microsoft, yes, you're making points here. Doesn't make me feel any better about it. It's not making me say, yeah, you know what, this is okay. Yeah, go ahead, do it. And it's like it. We've talked about it to death. It's happening. It is what it is. Sony's gonna have to suffer a huge loss. Microsoft's gonna get a big win, and Sony will have to do a whole lot to make up for that loss. Like it's what it boils down to.
Yeah, and this thought occurred to me earlier in the week because I was thinking along the lines you are, where Microsoft's getting a big win and Sony's getting a big loss. But when I was thinking about it, yes, it's still a big loss for PlayStation. This my point is not contradicting that. But I was thinking, I don't know if it's as big of a loss as I thought it would be for PlayStation. Simply for the reason, like again, I'll go back to it here. Microsoft said Call of Duty will still be on PlayStation as a paid title, which lends itself that they didn't say permanently. They didn't say for like every Call of Duty game for the rest of all time. But in my opinion, this lends itself to my argument that it would be too much money to leave on the table, and it would piss off too many people. There were other comments that I saw this week from Microsoft saying that they, again, not outright, but kind of hinting towards, hey, we're not going to take Call of Duty off PlayStation. Again, there was no reference to just for the next 3 games or for all of them forever. But
Yeah,
you can like
I was gonna say
um,
that no, I was gonna say that was a point that that you don't have here in the doc, because they did say, I forgot the specific wording, but they did say that like it would not be profitable to not have Call of Duty on
yeah,
PlayStation after the exclusivity goes through. And it's funny, I saw, I believe it was Paul Tassi from Forbes. He had said, he had retweeted that he was like, so I wonder like if this isn't profitable, like how profitable is it to have Starfield on Game Pass?
yeah.
You get like it's a solid question. Of course, the audiences are very different, and like Call of Duty's audience will dwarf Starfield's by a whole lot. But
Oh yeah.
still, it is a solid question of how profitable is it to have that game on there. Um, and we'll have that game be exclusive. I mean, sorry, that game be exclusive and on Game Pass and not on any other platform. Um, so that's what I was gonna say in regards to like just that point right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it would be incredibly profitable for them to have it on Game Pass and be exclusive to Xbox for the main reason, like I said last week, like Call of Duty is many people's one game that they play, and they will move platform to continue playing Call of Duty. That's I think that's just kind of like an unspoken truth is that people will pay whatever to be able to play Call of Duty because it is I don't know if this is arguably or just factually the most profitable first person shooter in the video game industry.
I mean, I don't know the facts behind it, but I would say it's like I would say
Yeah,
it's accurate. I would argue it's arguable it's accurate.
yeah. So so yeah, people will move console or platform or whatever to play Call of Duty. But again, I will say this one more time. I don't like no reference was made to whether they were saying indefinitely or just in the near future for the next 3 games. But they say that Call of Duty will still be on PlayStation. You will still be able to buy Call of Duty on PlayStation. So yes, it's still a massive loss for PlayStation because you are going to get Call of Duty included in your Game Pass subscription. I just don't think it's as big of a loss as I thought it was going to be. Like when I sat down and thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, I I'm still of the mindset of I'll wait a few years and see. I'll wait a
Yeah,
few years and see what actually happens with that because I can see that going either which way. I can see them saying one thing now and then a couple years being like, no, no more.
yeah,
It's a wait and see thing for me with them. But I mean, they say it'll still be on PlayStation. So like in that regards, like players don't lose out. PlayStation doesn't lose out on the sales of having it on the platform, but you still do lose you lose you will lose some sales. You lose
yeah,
the optics behind it because now it's like, oh, it is a Xbox game. It goes back to the 360 generation where people, it's largely associated with Xbox and all like that.
yeah,
And then it's just again, it's still a huge, just a huge win for Xbox to have that feather in their cap of we have Call of Duty.
yeah. No, and like to answer kind of my question at the bottom, like, does this make me feel any different about the situation? Not particularly. Like, I get, I think I'm in a similar boat to you, where I'm like, I'll have to like see how this deal plays out over the next few years. It does make me like their comments here, as well as some of the other comments that Microsoft has said this week. It does make me feel like a tiny, minuscule bit better knowing that there is at least some possibility, like, can confirmed kind of from Microsoft, that there is a potential that Call of Duty will remain multi-platform for the continuation of every game. So that makes me feel a little better. But again, that's kind of bundled with a massive load of skepticism, because they haven't said for how long or when that will, or when they would stop or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, that was some interesting comments from Microsoft this week. If you want to read like the entire quote or the entire transcript from maybe not the entire transcript, but a large portion of the document that Video Game Chronicle have on their article, go and check out Video Game Chronicle. I just found it by going to their main page. Okay, so we are going to move on to a multitude of video game delays that we have had in the past week. We're going to start with, I think, is the most notable, which is Hogwarts Legacy. It was originally planned for launch in October, but developer Portkey Games put out a quote on Twitter saying Hogwarts Legacy will launch on February 10th, 2023 for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. The Nintendo Switch launch date will be revealed soon. The team is excited for you to play, but we need a little more time to deliver the best possible game experience. End quote.
I don't think this was ever set for October. This game never had a date.
I thought it was set for October.
No.
Not a specific date in October. I thought it was October.
No, this never had a month.
Okay. Holiday. In fact,
because
no,
the last
2022.
Yeah, I think that's all they just said holiday or fall or something. They never gave a month or anything. Because if it had a date, I would have remembered that date for sure.
Fair. Yeah, that is my bad. Apologies. My brain doesn't work this week, apparently. Interesting that they have delayed it and given a specific date when they didn't have a date before. But February 10th.
I was expecting this delay. It is crazy because the day this was announced, Friday, I think, Thursday or Friday, one of the 2 days. Like earlier in the week, I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, haven't heard from Hogwarts Legacy in a bit. Yeah. It's getting delayed. I was like, it's not coming out this year. Because again, we're at the point in the year where if your game does not have a date, it does not get a date by like September or so, chances are it's getting delayed to next year. Because you need marketing and stuff to happen and everything. Like chances are it's not getting released this year. So Hogwarts Legacy was one of those where it's like, you're getting delayed. You're getting delayed. Like it's October is kind of like a packed month. November is kind of not too packed, but November is kind of got some games in there. Doesn't seem like it's B1 they want to rush out to the beginning of December. So I'm just like, you're getting delayed. And then it happened like, okay, February 10th.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of expecting this as well, because like you say, we have heard nothing from this in a while.
Yeah. Last time we saw it was in the State of Play in March.
Yeah. So and like you say, they haven't started marketing for it either. And if it was theoretically, I'll just go off of my kind of mess up early. Theoretically, if it was releasing in October, they would have started marketing by now. If it was released in November, they probably would start marketing by like the end of this month.
Yeah. Well, sooner than that, I imagine.
Well, probably. So yeah, like, I mean, sucks it's been delayed, because I'm like, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I'm really looking forward to this game. But I mean, if they need more time, take more time.
Oh, of course, definitely do that.
There are a few other game delays into 2023. Metal Slug Tactics has been delayed to 2023. Nightingale has been delayed to the first half of 2023 to add Unreal Engine 5 support. The other one that kind of, like, I would say is somewhat notable, Marvel's Midnight Suns has been delayed to a later date in Take-Two's fiscal year, meaning it will release by March 31st, 2023. So they didn't give a specific date, but we know it's coming before the end of their fiscal year.
And it's also important to clarify, that's for the PS5, the Xbox Series versions, and the PC versions of the game. That's not the PS4, the Xbox One, or Switch, if Switch was getting a version. Like, those versions don't have a date.
I will look up to see if Switch is getting Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. So all of those versions are getting it at another date, like sometime late. They just don't have a
Yeah.
date period. So who knows when those will come, or at this point, if they will come. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if they just like announce that they're going to be canceled because they just needed more power or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. A lot of games have done that over the last 2 years, so not anything new. But this kind of begs the question for me: is 2023 becoming too crowded? And I will say specifically the first half of 2023.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Possibly. Well, no, not possibly. It depends on Jesus Christ. This car alarm outside. I apologize for anyone listening that just hears that right now. Like they just don't know. Whoever it is that whose car that belongs to, just get your car together. I'm sorry. I apologize. Shoot, I might even close my window for a second. You know what? Give me like 10 seconds. I'm gonna go close my window right now.
Okay.
1, 2. So I close the window, and as soon as I close the window, the alarm stops.
Typical.
Of course, that would happen. No, so we've already kind of talked about this before, but 2023 is definitely already going to be a huge year for games, potentially even the biggest year for games. I don't have the list in front of me right now, but just games that we know coming next year: Starfield, Redfall, Breath of the Wild sequel, Spider-Man, Midnight Suns now, Hogwarts Legacy, Metal Slug Tactics, Nightingale. Did I say Street Fighter 6? If not, Street Fighter 6. What else is next year that we know for certain, for a fact?
I have a list in front of me.
Read it off, please.
So hang on. So in January, you have the Dead Space remake, which is
Dead
January
Space, yes.
23rd. Forspoken, which is January
Forspoken.
24th.
My birthday.
February is Hogwarts Legacy, February 10th. March is the Resident Evil 4 remake on March 24th. And it just and then there is a list of probably over 100 games on the to be announced. Games such as like Alan Wake 2, Ark 2, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Where are some other bigger ones?
Yeah. So like the next year is already going to be a huge year for games. The first half, I think people aren't necessarily worried about the first half. They're more so worried about the first 3 months, because a lot of companies are going to want to get these games out before the fiscal year is done. So that's why I've seen a lot of people saying, please, for the love of God, publishers, do not put all your games out in February and March. We do not want a repeat of 2022.
Yep.
So that's the bigger worry. Where, like, what does the first 3 months of the year look like in terms of releases? And right now, as you already said, Forspoken, Dead Space, Resident Evil, Hogwarts Legacy, I think you might have said like 1 or 2 others that were like in the first 3 months of the year. So it's already, as of right now, just with those, a good first 3 months. Any more get added to that pot, and like the first 3 months is pretty crowded. So the first 6 months, like in terms of how crowded the first 6 months will end up being, depends on how spaced out these games end up being. Yeah. And I think part of that also comes down to when Starfield and Breath of the Wild come out. Because I can guarantee you that once those games announce their release dates, people will want to move out their way. And if once the people move out their way, other people end up close to one another.
Yeah.
So it's, again, 2023 is going to be a huge year. Be a huge year for games.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if 2023 might be like the biggest year for like game reschedules, because like you say, so when Starfield and Breath of the Wild 2's release dates are announced, if there's games close to that, those games are most likely going to move to give those 2 massive games space. But if you have like a large to medium game, say, that's moving because of those games, and it moves to, say, the middle of July, smaller games that have a release date that around about the middle of July are going to be like, maybe we should move our release dates to give this game space. And then like it could just domino effect. So I'm wondering if next year might become like the year of video game reschedules.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be wild to see. I'm looking forward to the games we're getting next year, though.
Oh
It
yeah,
should be a nice, really great year for games. Hogwarts Legacy coming up February 10th. Now gives me a bit more time to see about getting my girlfriend a PS5 so she can play Hogwarts Legacy the best way possible. Because she has a regular PS4 right now. Um, and like I imagine it'd be fine on a regular PS4, but you know,
yeah. Why
yeah,
why would you play it on a regular PS4 when you could play it on a PS5?
right. And like I want to get her a PS5 anyway.
Yeah,
So also I forgot Final Fantasy 16. That's why I want to get her a PS5 because Final Fantasy 16 is coming out next year.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that and Hogwarts Legacy just bing bam boom.
yeah. I also saw on the list I had pulled up Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is scheduled for next year. So
Absolutely wild.
yep,
Absolutely wild.
yep. I don't think anyone's wallets are going to come out of next year feeling okay.
Yeah, I'm dreading it. Dear God. Like new job, please come through with a great pay next year because I need it for a number of reasons.
Yeah, you just need to find a job that gives you like a $200 a month video game allowance, right? That's a common thing.
Sure, I'd say more than $200 would be nice.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, that's gonna conclude all of our main stories this week. I couldn't find anything else that I thought I could put in as a main story. So,
If we were fighting game fans, promise you this Evo stuff would have
oh
been
yeah,
like top tier.
yeah,
Because Evo seemed like it was pretty cool this year. Evo seemed hype. People were having fun. People were enjoying it.
yeah. Speaking of Evo, let's just go on to our brief mentions, and we're going to start by talking about Evo and some of the announcements and things that were teased during the event. So, a new Tekken was teased during Evo this year,
Not
which
sure if it's not sure if it's Tekken 8. It was like, if I'm right, it was the way the teaser went was it was the ending of I believe Tekken 1 or Tekken 2 with Kazuya throwing Heihachi off the cliff. And then like the camera, looking at the camera and doing a smile. But then it went from that, from like the old school graphics to like a brand new, like hyper realistic version of Kazuya making
oh,
the exact same face. And it said, "Get ready." That's all it said.
oh, okay.
So it's like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah, I didn't see what was teased for new Tekken because, like you said, I'm like neither of us are fighting game people, so I didn't really pay attention to any of the Evo stuff. But that's interesting.
yeah, it's like, ooh, is it Tekken? Everyone's like, is it Tekken 8? What? And it's crazy because at Evo, like when this was revealed, after that happened, you saw the commentators on the stage like losing, like, oh my gosh, is it happening? What is it? Is it Tekken 8? Oh my gosh. And then I believe the director for Tekken or creator, Harada, he came onto the set and he's like shaking the commentators, like, yeah, yeah. They're like, oh my gosh, Harada's here. He's here. He just was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Post for a picture and then left. Did not elaborate at all. Just
Oh, I
dropped the
love that.
teaser, hyped out with the commentators, and then said, "All right, see you."
That's amazing.
Very amazing.
Kimberly and Jury were revealed for Street Fighter 6, and from what I saw on Twitter, I think it's Jury you were interested in.
No, Kimberly is who I was interested in. Jury is not new. She's returning. She was first introduced to Street Fighter 4, came back for 5, coming back for 6. Kimberly, brand new character. She looks dope. Oh my God. I love her. I love her. From her attitude and personality to her design and her fighting style. I was just all over it. And part of this is due to Street Fighter 6's visual aesthetic. The whole graffiti style that they got going on just worked so well. And in conjunction with Kimberly, who African American girl, long braids and everything. Her character design, like colors and everything, look great with her. But she also like kind of fights with some graffiti too. So
Oh, nice.
throwing that in with the graffiti style that Street Fighter 6 is doing just like exacerbates everything. She looks awesome. She looks like a lot of fun. I love her personality. I love so much about her. She single-handedly is going to make me buy Street Fighter 6. Like, I'm not joking when I say if there's any reason for me to buy Street Fighter 6, it's because of Kimberly. That's the only reason I need.
Interesting. Maybe I'll have to go and check out what they showed off at Evo because I haven't seen it.
She looks awesome. She looks so cool.
Season 2 for Guilty Gear Strive has been released, as well as returning fighter Bridget. I have never heard of that game in my life.
I'm surprised you ever heard of Guilty Gear Strive. It was huge when it came out last year. I think it came out last year. If not last year, it was 2020, but I'm pretty sure it was last year when it came out.
Nope.
Gotta pay attention. Gotta pay attention to the gaming landscape, dude.
I know. Like, that's the thing is, like, I'm realizing I don't really pay enough attention to the video game landscape these days because, like, I don't. So, like, when I first started gaming, I used to go and I read everything, right? I scrolled through IGN every single day. I scrolled through GameSpot every single day, and now it's just like I don't have time.
You gotta do it. You gotta pay attention.
Yeah. A new Fatal Frame has been announced. A game I have heard of. I have heard of Fatal Frame.
Yeah, we got just a new artwork was announced. Well, a new artwork was like teased, I believe. I think it was new artwork. He's saying, "Hey, a new one's coming." So I was like, "All right, woo, yeah, fantastic."
And the last of the Evo stuff, Dragon Ball Fighter Z is getting a PS5 and Xbox Series X and S release, and rollback netcode is coming to those versions of the game as well as the PC version. I've actually played a little bit of Fighter Z. Not a whole lot. I've played it for like an hour at a friend's house, but it's a fun game.
I have not played it, but I've always thought it looked amazing. I've always loved the look of it because it just nails the Dragon Ball aesthetic. It nails it in a 2D fighter, and it's just so good. And Arc System Works, the developer behind it, they did say that they want to, work on other IPs, other like licensed IPs and all. And for the longest time, I've been like, for the love of God, give me a My Hero Academia fighter that is just like that, and I will spend money on it. I don't care. I will pay good money for it. That or Naruto or even Hunter x Hunter. Give me, an anime that has not really gotten game love, period. Give me a Hunter x Hunter fighter game just like that. I will spend money on it. I don't care. I will.
Those are all anime on my watch list. I haven't actually watched any of them yet, other than Naruto.
Hunter x Hunter's on Netflix. You can watch all of it on there. Do yourself a favor and watch it. It is a 10 out of 10 anime.
I actually might watch that tonight.
Just start it up. 10 out of 10.
That is all of the stuff that was announced during Evo. So we'll get on to the rest of our brief mentions. Since going free to play on January 12th, PUBG, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, has grown by 80,000 players every day.
Good for that game that I forgot
That's
existed.
insane.
That is insane. I forgot that game existed. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, well, I mean, PUBG was like the only battle royale I played for ages, and Apex came out. I'm like, PUBG can just go over here. I'm just gonna go play Apex now.
I remember when PUBG was like, the only battle royale out there. I remember I loved seeing the clips of it and everything, and now it's fallen by the wayside.
Yep. Dragon Ball is coming to Fortnite on August 16th, which is I haven't played Fortnite in a while. I might have to get back into that.
It's gonna be interesting seeing Goku out here with a gun just pat 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 pat. That's gonna be fun to see. Just like seeing Naruto doing it as well. It was like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see.
Multiverses Season 1 launches August 15th, day this podcast comes out. Alongside the game's first Battle Pass, Morty launches on August 23rd. And very impressively, Multiverses has already surpassed 10 million players.
The power of WB crossover and free to play. Yep. That'll do it for you.
Kirby's Dream Buffet, Nintendo's new Fall Guys-esque game, launches on August 17th. EA and the NFL have renewed their deal for multiple years, which interesting. I'm wondering if once this contract is up, they might try and transition, depending on how well EA Sports FC goes. I wonder if they will start trying to transition more of their sports games to like more in-house rather than a deal with these major sports leagues.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't care much about sports games. I don't follow them that much. So whatever happens. Yep. It's just a name on a box.
Yeah, exactly. Or according to FIFA, what was the quote? Like the best thing ever.
Right.
Splatoon 3 is getting 2 years of supported content, large-scale paid DLC, and a free Splatfest-only demo later this month.
Yeah, I watched that direct and I was like, man, I want to get Splatoon 3. Money will keep me from doing it day one, though, but I would love to play that game.
Blizzard is going to stop selling premium Overwatch loot boxes on August 30th in preparation for Overwatch 2, so you will no longer be able to buy loot boxes in Overwatch 1.
Yeah, I think you'll be able to get them still like free, like just like playing
Yeah,
the game,
yeah,
but
you
you
can get
can't
them
buy
from
them.
leveling up.
Yeah, just can't buy them. So smart move. That way people aren't spending money on it up until Overwatch 2 releases.
Yeah. Details for the Modern Warfare 2 open beta were revealed this week, so I'll just go through some dates with you. Weekend 1 is PlayStation exclusive. September 16th to the 17th is PlayStation Early Access. I imagine that's for people who like pre-order the game.
Yes, if you pre-order the game, you get the early access from the 16th to the 17th. And then everyone else on PlayStation is able to do it starting 18th to the 20th.
Yep. And then weekend 2 is the crossplay beta, being September 22nd to the 23rd, is early access for PC, Xbox, PC and Xbox, open beta on PlayStation, and then September 24th, 26th is open beta on all platforms.
Yep, I'm definitely going to be in there for sure. I'm probably going to pre-order the game so that I can get the early access and be in there from the 16th. I'm planning to make an impressions video about that. The timeline for that impressions video in my head, it is crazy tight. We're gonna see if we can get it done, though. We're gonna see if we can get it done.
I'm looking forward to it if you do it.
Oh, I'm certainly I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of the timeline. I'm like, see if we can crunch it out in this timeline that I have in my head.
Fair. Sony has stopped reporting PS4 shipments, which means the final official total for the console sales is about 117.2 million as of March 2022, making it the second best-selling console of all time.
Second, I believe it's the second best. If it's not second, it's the third behind the Wii, but I believe it's number 2.
I'm fairly confident that it's number 2.
I'm pretty confident about that as well, because I'm pretty sure the Switch is number 3 and will be number 2 after this.
Yeah. The Switch will be number 2. Yeah, the Switch will be number 2 at some point. I'm very confident in that.
Oh yeah, this year. I'm so certain of that.
Yeah. Details on the cancelled campaign for Black Ops 4 have leaked online courtesy of Reddit user Purple Toaster 20.
Yeah, the details there, they're in depth, they're intricate. I didn't list them all out here because it's a lot you gotta like parse through and read through. But it is interesting to say the least. It's like, oh wow, kind of a weird idea you had for the campaign here. Kind of an interesting, weird idea.
And our final brief mention is the PS Plus Extra / Premium game catalog for August has been revealed by Sony. You will be able to get Yakuza 0, Yakuza Kiwami 2, Dead by Daylight, Ghost Recon Wildlands, Bugsnax, Metro Exodus, Trials of Mana, Uno, Monopoly Madness, and Monopoly Plus. It's a good selection of games in there.
It is. What's not good is that there are no classic games for the premium members. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
It's like, what's up with that? Where are those games?
Have they introduced any classic games yet? Like
they did for July.
Did they?
Yeah, they did. It was 2 games in July. I think they were both PSP games. I don't remember what they were off the top of my head right now, but they did have some for July, but none for August. Disappointing.
Yep. Okay. That is going to conclude our brief mentions. So I now get to open up this document with my list of gaming trivia questions for Tyler.
I'm curious as to what this entails. What type of trivia we're talking here? Like, how in the weeds are we getting? What are we talking here? Lay it out for me.
Okay, so I have 15 questions. We might not get through them all, but we may. I don't know. I have ordered them easiest to hardest. So I'm just gonna go through them in order. And it's just a general smattering of random video game knowledge.
That's kind of what I was worried about, like how random we're getting. Question for you: is it multiple choice or no?
No. Single answer.
No. Okay. That might make things a tad bit harder. We'll see.
We will see. You will get let's say 2 hints per question.
Sure, that works. That's helpful. I appreciate that. Throwing me a
Okay.
bone of some sort.
Yeah. So,
Are there
We'll
any
start-
other rules for this? Are there any other rules for
Hmm.
this at all?
I
If
don't
not,
think so.
that's fine. I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we just go through and we see how well you do.
Okay. All right. We'll see how random this gaming trivia
Yeah.
is. Dear Lord.
So, I will say I have kind of thrown you a bit of a bone, and I've started the first like 3 or 4 questions are very easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Trying to ease me into the water. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, a little bit. So we'll start question 1. What is the name of the final track in all Mario Kart games?
You're asking me the wrong question here. No, because here's the thing. How do you define final track? You said say that again. You said what is the name of the final track?
What is the name of the final track in all Mario Kart games?
I'm sorry. You said it, and I was thinking music track, which is why I was like,
No,
all right, what do you mean? Like, are we
course.
defining final track as in like the final track the final song that plays on a course, or like what song that plays during the credits? Like, what do you define as final track? Sorry, I was thinking one very different thing. Rainbow Road.
Correct, Rainbow. I'm gonna put an X.
Although
next to it.
even nowadays that could be up for debate because I have to look back at Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but because in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe you have like 8 cups to go with, right? And the last course of the 4th cup at the top is Rainbow Road. But the bottom set of courses is like retro tracks. I don't remember if the last one of the last cup for the retro courses is also a retro Rainbow Road. I don't remember. So I guess depending on how you want to look at it, but Rainbow Road is like generally the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Question 2. In what year was the first Call of Duty released?
We were talking about this last week, and I told it's either 2002 or 2004. But hold on. It cannot be 2004 because hold on a second. It gets weird with me because the first game, there was a gap between the first and the second release. I know that for a fact. They were not yearly at that point. Call of Duty 2 was on next gen consoles. Call of Duty 2 was on the 360. I know that for a fact. That was 2005 when that one came out. Which is why I'm not sure if it's 2000. It's not 2002. It can't be 2002. It's got to be 2003 or 2004. But wait, it can't be 2004 because the first one, as I said, it wasn't yearly yet. There wasn't annual at that point. There was a gap between releases. I believe it's 2003, but if it's not, it's 2002.
You are correct. It was 2003.
Bam. Smart.
Two for 2 right off the bat.
There we go.
Third question. In Minecraft, what 2 materials are used to make obsidian?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have not played Minecraft in 10 years. I don't know the answer to this question.
Fair enough. Do you want a hint or do you want me to just tell you?
Just tell me because I don't know it.
It's lava and water.
There we go.
Okay.
I was not going to get that answer. I had you asked me like in 2013, 2014, I could answer it for you. I haven't played that game in like close to a decade. I'm not going to know the answer.
Fair. Nintendo began as a company that sold what?
Trading cards.
Well done. Correct answer.
I thought you were gonna say when did Nintendo start? I was like, come on.
No,
What do you,
that,
why you...
that was a question that I found online that I was like, I could put that in there, but it would be one of the like later on questions because I believe it's 1882, but
I would not have known that. Would not have known that detail. Don't you dare put that in the doc right now.
No, I'm not.
Or a similar question.
No, it's 1989. I was off by 7 years.
Wait, you said 1882.
Yeah, I said 82. It's 89.
And then you just said 1989.
So 1889 is when it was founded.
I was about to be like, Keiran, that is a very large jump, but also I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, well, that would kind of make
because the NES came out before 89.
So that would kind of make the NES a little bit of an oddity. Okay, getting slightly harder now.
Slightly, okay.
Yeah. Which video game franchise has racked up over $1 billion in lawsuits?
Random question here. Over $1 billion in lawsuits. I mean, the mind immediately goes to GTA because of just everything going on with that game over the years. Jack
Is that
Thompson.
is
That's not the final answer. I'm just
okay?
the mind immediately goes there. The only other games I could even think of would possibly be Mortal Kombat, like the series as a whole,
Yeah,
or Call of Duty. But I doubt it would be Call of Duty. Like if it's Call of Duty, that'd be more recently because of just like like
yeah,
cheats and everything, like different companies doing cheat stuff with it and all like that.
yeah.
I doubt it'd be that. I feel like it'll be GTA, the series.
Final answer.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be my final answer.
Correct. It is Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto.
Yep, makes sense. Just the only thing that makes sense.
What was Mario's original name?
I feel like I know it. I mean, there's Paul. Originally you had Paulina. It wasn't Peach. Paulina was the one in the game. But Mario's original name, like that's one of those details that like I know, but like not off the top of my head. Like if I saw it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know that, but I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know why I keep thinking Rockman, but like that's Mega Man. That's a very different person. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head, but I do know this.
Do you want a hint?
Sure.
You are correct with the last bit being man.
I knew that much. That I know, or at least I felt like I knew. But the actual name, like, I don't know right now off the top of my head. Again, if I read it, I would be like, yes, I knew that. Off the top of my head, couldn't tell you.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yes.
It is Jumpman.
Yeah, see, I knew that. I knew that was the name. I just could not remember the fact it was Jumpman.
Okay. Next question. This is one that I think you will get. Alongside Universal Interactive Studios, who else developed Crash Bandicoot?
Alongside Universal Interactive Studios, who else developed? No, I was about to say the developer. It's Naughty Dog.
Yep, it is indeed Naughty Dog.
I'm surprised that you have that as like a harder one. That's an easier one.
I mean, like we're not into like the hard questions yet.
I feel like that one would have been a bit harder if you said alongside Naughty Dog who developed Crash Bandicoot.
I should have reworded it. But
yeah, because it's like, well, everyone thinks Naughty Dog. Well, you know Naughty Dog made it.
What is the name of the planet in Gears of War?
Oh, man. This is again another one where I know it. If I saw it, I'd know it. I think it starts with an L. L or Sarah.
You are correct. It is Sarah.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, it's an L or S, Sarah. There you go. I know it.
Okay, I might actually start going a little bit out of order because I think I forgot to reorder this one question.
What's my right and wrong so far?
So right now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 correct and 2 wrong, or two that you didn't know.
Well, sure. I mean, we count them as wrong. Like the Jumpman, I knew it, didn't get it right, and then what was the other one?
The other one was lava and water for Minecraft.
Yeah, that was just I didn't know it wrong. So 6 right so far, 2 wrong. That's 8 out of 15. So I'm doing fairly well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see about that after we start getting a little bit harder again.
Okay.
In Pac-Man, what is the name of the orange ghost?
You're Blinky, Pinky. Hold on, Pinky's pink. Blinky, I think, is blue. It's blue, red, pink, and orange, correct?
Yep.
Pink is pink. Blue is pink. Blinky, I believe. Or red, one of the two. Thing is, I don't remember all the name of the ghosts.
Do you want me to tell you the names of the ghosts?
Tell me the names of the ghosts, and I can figure it out from there. Or I could at least attempt to figure it out from there. I don't know why I keep
So,
thinking like one of them's like Mervin or something, but I know that's wrong.
so the names of the ghosts are Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde.
Clyde.
Yep, you are correct.
Because I knew I was like, I'm pretty sure his is the one that's different from all the others.
Yeah.
Like all the others are very similar. His is the one that stands out.
What is the original first-person shooter video game?
You see, this is what I'm talking about when I say, well, no, hold on. I was gonna say this I'm talking about when I say like just getting real in the weeds and it's like random with your trivia. It's either Wolfenstein or Doom. It's one of those two. Oh man. It's either Wolfenstein or Doom. One of them popularized it, but one of them was the first.
Yep,
Wolfenstein was the first. Doom popularized it.
correct.
I'm smart.
You are. You are. That's one of the harder questions I have on here. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
What is the highest grossing movie based on a video game?
Highest grossing movie based on a video game.
Yep.
The mind would immediately go to Sonic. That's where the mind would immediately go to, considering the success that the Sonic movie has found. I'm trying to think about, though, the more recent Mortal Kombat movie. I'm trying to think about what other video game movies have there been. Well, Uncharted, but I don't think Uncharted surpassed Sonic. And when I say Sonic, I'm just saying like both movies. I don't remember which one did better than the other. I'm just saying the Sonic movies in general. Yeah, I think the contenders for it will be Sonic, Uncharted, or Mortal Kombat, the more recent one. Between the three of them, though, I'm gonna say Sonic. One of the Sonic movies did it, and I think it's the second Sonic movie.
I want to double check something.
It's like highest grossing. It's not. It's certainly not the old Street Fighter movies. It's definitely not the old Mortal Kombat movies. Oh wait, no, hold on, that's a lie. You talked about it's Resident Evil. I'm sitting here. I'm like, I know they're older ones. I can't think of them. It's the Resident Evil series.
Okay.
Now, are you have a specific movie listed, or are you talking about?
It is a specific movie.
Then that's why that's the tougher part. If it's a specific movie and it's a Resident Evil movie, I don't know. It's one of those like 8, and it's not the first 3. I imagine it's one of the latter 5.
Do you want a hint?
Give me a hint.
You have not yet named a game from the company that this franchise is from.
Okay, I have not said a game from this company
Nope.
that this franchise is from. So you're saying, okay, I have not said the series yet. That's what you're saying. Okay, the way you worded that was real weird. I have not said the series yet.
No, you have not yet named the game this movie is based on.
So okay, so I haven't said the series. It's not like
yes, well, yeah, you haven't said the series.
Okay. So then, what the heck are we talking about here? It's not Resident Evil, but it's not Sonic.
Nope.
It's not Uncharted. It's not Mortal Kombat.
Nope.
What other games have been made into movies? I guess not Street Fighter. I know that much.
Nope.
Games adapted into movies is not Uncharted. Oh, wait a minute. No, this can't be. Is it? I doubt it's Tomb Raider. That's got to be like a logic. That's got to be impossible.
Incorrect.
Oh, it is Tomb Raider?
No. So it's not Tomb Raider.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's not Tomb Raider.
Nope.
I'm
gonna give you 30 seconds.
I mean, give me another hint. You said I get 2 hints.
Electricity.
What? What hints is that? Electricity.
or more electric would be more specific.
I don't know how that helps any. Um, game, electricity, movie based off of it. Um, just say it because I'm not getting this.
Detective Pikachu.
Interesting. I'm surprised that did more than Sonic or Resident Evil as a whole. That's wild.
I would assume this question is talking about a singular movie rather than a franchise.
Even I guess I could see it for Sonic, but I thought Sonic did more still. Yeah, Pokemon. That makes sense. I I'm mad. I forgot that movie even came out. I saw it with my brother. It took my brother to see it for his birthday when it came out that year because I think it was like a May movie. And
Yeah.
his birthday was like either a few days before or a few days after or the day of. So took him to see it because he was like, kind of into Pokemon a bit that time. Good movie. I enjoyed it. Makes sense that it was that one, but again, I thought Sonic did more.
Yeah,
I thought Sonic did more, and I also would have expected a Resident Evil movie to do more, considering I'm sure those movies do crazy overseas.
Yeah, fair. I
But
can see
Pokemon's
your
Pokemon.
yeah. I was about to say I can see your logic, but I would go with the logic that Pokemon is the number one selling franchise ever in video
Yeah.
games. So I would assume that Pokemon would have done best.
Had I remembered that, I might have leaned more towards that than what else I was saying. I forgot the movie came out though.
Okay. This question I'm actually quite excited for because it's a little specific.
Oh, a little specific. Let's see how specific
Yeah.
we are.
Okay. Which game developer has released 4 Game of the Year games?
That can be one of many.
Not
That could be one of many. That is a bit too broad of a question right there. A bit no, too broad and also very specific at the same time. I'm gonna need more help with more help with this.
okay.
I could easily say I could say BioWare. I could say Bethesda. I could say Naughty Dog. I could say who else could I say? I could probably say use 4 different Game of the Year games.
4 different Game of the Year games.
I could say Bungie, arguably. Like, there's a number of different developers I could say, so I'm gonna need more assistance.
I will give you this doesn't count as one of your hints. I'll make the question a bit more specific. You are thinking of developer wrong. Not game development company, individual game developer. Somebody who works
that is very specific. Dear Lord. Like that's ridiculous. Okay, so now I'm gonna need you to be more specific now. Is this a Western developer or a Japanese Eastern developer? Western?
Western.
Okay. So then my first guess is going to be Todd Howard. Just because Bethesda and Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. Bam, there's your 4 right there. I'm sure you could go farther back if you wanted to. That's my first thought. If I'm trying to think other than him, I was gonna say someone from BioWare. Gosh, I'm blanking on the guy's name. He was there before, then he left. He came back. Casey something. I was gonna say him, but I don't know how far back he goes at BioWare. Because there's the Mass Effect trilogy, and there's Dragon Age Inquisition, but I don't know if he worked on that. I also don't know if he worked on any of their older games as well. So I'm not too sure about him. If you look at Naughty Dog, I was gonna say Neil Druckmann because he was on 3 and 4 of Uncharted and Last of Us, and Last of Us 2. Wait, was he on Uncharted 3? I don't think he was actually. If not, he was on 2, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, that would be 4 right there. Either 2 or 3 he was on. I'm thinking either Neil Druckmann or Todd Howard for this.
Okay.
Am I right about one of them?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Was that my second hint or my first hint? That would be my second hint, right? Because the Western Eastern would be the first one.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Mom. It's one of the two of them.
It is.
It's one of these two. It's just a matter of who would Keiran pick. Again, really broad question, really broad and hyper specific. I'm going to whatever. I'll say Todd Howard. It's 50-50 chance.
Correct.
There we go. I figured that'd be who you would go with.
Yeah. Yeah. How many? Okay, now we have 4 questions left, and
Okay.
these are the 4 most difficult questions on my list.
Okay, let's see how much more broad and specific you went with each of these questions.
Okay. How many variants of blocks are there in Tetris?
You don't mean color, you mean shape, right?
Yep.
There is a single block. There is an L. Hold on. Single block, straight line, L. That's 3. There is the Z shape. That's 4. There is a T. That is 5. That might be it. Let me think about that again. There is a single one. No, 6. Square. Sorry about the square. So I'm going to run that back in my head. There is a single block. There is a straight line. There is an L. There is the T shape. There is the Z shape. There is a square. 6.
7.
What's the 7th?
I am looking them up now to give you the list of them.
I felt like I was missing one, but even still, I was like, that seems 6 seems correct. I wonder what it was. What's the last one I'm missing? It's not a rectangle.
So there's the straight line. There's 2 L shapes. There's a left L and a right L.
Okay, I guess that counts.
The square. Sorry, no, my answer was wrong. There was actually 8 because there's 2 L's, there are 2 Z's. There's the line at the bottom with a single block on the top, and then there's a single block. Okay, you know what?
I guess that counts, but like I'm gonna say that I'm correct because like
yes,
I'm not gonna say my numbers correct, but like my mindset, I know there's like the change of the direction the Z is facing and the L, like I guess technically it's a different design, but it's the same thing. It is the same thing.
I will give you that one. I will give you that one.
Like I know what the shapes are. I know all the shapes. Those are all the shapes.
Sorry, no, we actually only have
okay.
1, 2. No, we have 2 questions left, not 3.
I was supposed to be like, what? Is there like 20 shapes actually? What is increasing the number?
Yeah, there are an infinite number of shapes in Tetris. No. So what position did the creator of the Game Boy originally have at Nintendo?
I don't know.
Janitor.
Yeah. It's not like I knew that position created. I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff.
Okay. This is the hardest question on my list.
Okay.
Just so you know what, for this one, I'm going to give you 3 hints.
Okay. We can
change it up a little bit. Who was the first character from a video game to have a balloon featured in the Macy's parade?
It's either Pikachu or Sonic. It is one of those two. Huh, I got 3 hints. Are they blue?
Yes.
That's a hint. Sonic, there you go.
Fair. Okay.
I knew it was one of the 2 of them. I knew it was one of those 2. And I don't know if they might be the only ones that have actually ever been in the Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade. Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. I don't think Mario's been in it. I really think it's only been Sonic and Pikachu.
You got that a lot quicker than I thought you were going to.
Nah, I'm a New Yorker. I've seen that parade a lot.
Fair.
I've
I
seen that
forgot
parade
the
and I've
Macy's
heard about
parade
it.
was in New York.
Yep.
Okay, that's my bad.
No, I mean
Okay.
you're totally fine. Like I don't watch it every year, but
Oh
like
yeah.
it's a thing I am well aware of and all like
Yeah.
that. And it's I know when new like pop culture characters get added to it, like Goku, if I'm right, he's the only anime character in it, and he was only added to the parade in recent years.
Hmm.
So like that was the thing. I was like, oh, cool. I know that. That's cool. That's awesome that he's there. That's Sonic. That's why I'm like, I knew it was Sonic or Pikachu because both of them are in it. I just couldn't remember who was first.
Fair. Okay.
But what is that? What's the win? What's the correct wrong ratio?
So you got 11 correct, 4 wrong.
Look at that. Not bad. That is
Pretty
Oh,
good general
when you
video game
do
knowledge.
when you math it out, that comes out to about like 70 something percent, I think.
Yeah.
Like just under 75, I think. I think it's like a 70% win ratio. Right to wrong ratio, I mean. Because 10 out of 15 is
Sure.
2/3.
Yeah.
12 out of 15 would be 70. 12 out of 15 would be
11 at 15.
no, I know that was
Oh
right.
yeah, sorry.
I'm going in between. 12 out of 15 would be 80%. So yeah, that's about like somewhere in the 70s.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good general video game knowledge you got.
Not bad. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I tried my best there.
So that will conclude news, brief mentions, a fun little game that we played. Now we can go and talk about what we've been playing. I'm going to start because I'm really lazy. I haven't played anything. I haven't watched anything. I have had no time. Busy week. Played nothing.
All right. What have I played? Just another weekly Destiny update. My light's 1556 with my artifact included.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good about that. Yeah, feeling good about that. Did a bit of Crucible last night, and I forgot how much I don't like the main control mode. Like, it's fine, but I don't like that the main control mode is not what you would expect it to be. Where it's like you control the points, but controlling points doesn't get you points. Controlling the zones only gets you only multiplies how many points you get per kill for your team. Whereas zone control is what control should have been from the very start. So like it's all really heavily reliant on how smart your teammates are and everything like that. But I mean that's fine. 1556. I think I'm like tier 80 on the season pass. And yeah, now I'm at the point where I think the only thing I'll really do each week is the whatever I can to get pinnacle or powerful gear just to boost myself up, and then after that just kind of like bow out until the new season starts. Just because I don't necessarily intend to do like just grind out Crucible. I mean, I could if I was really in the mood for it and all. I haven't done Gambit yet. I might ask my brother to do the Vox Obscura quest, the exotic quest with me, because I tried to do it solo the other day. Well, yesterday. And that mission is actually a timed mission. And doing it solo. I only tried it a few times, but doing it solo, could not get it. I was just like, nah. I tried like 3 times. I was like, nope, I'm done. I'll ask my brother to help me with this one. So yeah, that's where I am with that. But Tales of Arise, I made a bunch of progress in that this week. I think last week we talked, I was like 17, 18 hours in, maybe around there. I am like close to 38 hours into the game now. I'm putting a bunch of time. I am basically, I would say, in Act 3 of the game. So I'm basically about to be at the end of the game. The story has taken many different turns that I was not expecting, was not prepared for. But I'm super enjoying the story. Still to this day, it's just been a blast. It's been an absolute blast. And I posted a clip on Twitter from a boss fight. One of the boss fight against the final Lord on Dana. Posted a clip of the end of that boss fight, and it was just like it was just a cool scene. Spoilers if you want to go check it out, of course, obviously. But I've been having a great time with this game, man. Been having a really great time with this game. Really, really enjoying it. Where I am in the game in terms of story, like I said, it's like near the end of the game, Act 3, I guess you could call it. And like right now, I'm about to, again, spoilers for plot, what I'm about to do and all. but we're trying to find a way to go up to Lenegis, which is, I said, the satellite planet for Rena, which is above Dana and all like that. So we're about to try to head on up there. And well, no, we're not doing that right away. We're gonna be trying to go out to this like wedge that fell down from Lenegis that's in the ocean. We got to get a ship to go there. So I could fast travel to the place where the ship is, but I've just been walking through all the realms and everything to go there. Just because I felt like walking there, picking up some side quests along the way, some easy XP and some skill points and everything as well at the same time. So been doing that. I'm probably gonna play some more tonight, but if I don't play some more tonight, I may play some Bloodborne or Demon Souls. I downloaded Bloodborne last night because I was like, I might want to try to give it another shot. So I might play a bit of that. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's where I am with Tales of Arise. Great game. Also, I didn't realize, but after you finish, let's call it Act 2 of the game, right? And like you're about to do Act 3. It gives you another anime OP, another anime opening. So like whenever you start the game, there is the main opening. But once you finish Act 2, it gives you a brand new opening. So like I was like, oh, mid-game new anime OP. Okay. Except this one I feel like is borderline more spoilerish than the first one. So it's just like, okay, holy spoiler OP at Tales of Arise. Sure. Just drop all that right here in front of me. Why not? So that was funny. Yeah, that's where I am with that game. I imagine if I played a bunch this week, I will have it done before the podcast this coming week. I don't think that will happen though, because I'm planning to get Rollerdrome, which comes out tomorrow as of recording, the day this episode goes live, the 16th. Planning to get Rollerdrome and play that this week. So looking forward to doing that. I'll probably be spending a bunch of time with that as opposed to Tales of Arise. Tales of Arise probably won't be done this week. Will be done in the near future. Destiny 2 is really going to be on like hiatus. Like I probably will not give any updates on that until we are in season 17, 18. See, whatever the new season is going to be. Once we're in that season, starting that, then I'll probably start giving more updates on Destiny 2, because right now, again, it's just the power crawl, the power level crawl right now. There isn't much more noteworthy things for me to do and update everybody on. So
yeah,
unless I did like a raid or something else crazy, which I doubt will happen anytime soon. So Destiny 2 gonna be a bit of a. I'll still play it, but it'll be back burner in terms of what I've been playing. Tales of Arise and Rollerdrome will be the focus for the next few weeks.
Nice. I'm looking forward to hearing about Rollerdrome. Actually, it's a game I'm quite interested in.
It looks so much fun. Much fun. Definitely want to play that. And We Are OFK comes out on the 18th. They're doing episodic releases though. So it's one episode per week and it's 4 episodes total. So I'm trying to decide if I want to jump in there day one or if I'll just wait until they're all out and play them all at the same time. I'm not sure yet. I have yet to decide. I think the deciding factor will be how long the episodes are, but I imagine they'll be like anywhere from an hour to 3 hours, probably in terms of episode length. So we will see. And maybe I'll be talking about that next week's episode as well.
Nice. Looking forward to it. That will conclude episode 71 of the Play to Win podcast. Thank you all very much for watching. It's always greatly appreciated when you stick around to the end. Just as a reminder, go check out our website, playtowingames.wordpress.com, where you will get, all of our content in one neat place. Reviews, written reviews, review guides, podcast episodes, all that good stuff. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at playtowingame, where you will get updates on the show, random stuff that we post, updates when new podcast episodes come out, previews over there. Go and check that out. Follow us over there. That's greatly appreciated as well. Subscribe on YouTube and on podcast services. If you're subscribing on YouTube, tick the notification bell so you know when new podcast episodes go live, whenever anything else goes live, if anything else ever gets posted, you'll be one of the first people in the world to watch it. And finally, comment, share, review.
5-star reviews.
5-star reviews on podcast services helps us out more than you would think. Actually, algorithms and behind the scenes stuff for promoting and getting podcasts out there is a lot more intricate than I think a lot of people realize. So go ahead and 5-star reviews, comments, share the show with your friends. More reviews, more help for us. All of that greatly appreciated every single time. Thank you very much. Tyler, where can people find you?
You can find me over on Twitter at Tyler Miller 2496. I talk about games and anime and movies that I'm playing and or watching. And yeah, talked about Prey a little bit this week. I tweeted out about Tales of Arise this week. Like I said, it's fun times. Fun times over there. I'm happy to talk with anybody and everybody about, gaming related stuff, movies, pop culture related stuff in general, really.
Yeah.
I'm down to chat about all of that stuff. So yeah, hit me up over there. We can chat.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Badlynet, Badlynet, all one word. I post random stuff. Sometimes I don't frequently tweet a whole lot, but sometimes you might get a random thing from me on Twitter. So go follow me to see when I post random stuff. Thank you all very much for watching. We will see you all next week for the podcast.
Have a great one.